radio. Is it live? Is it live?
From Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs. Welcome to the Monday edition of Live at Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Handigrove, Jimmy Ott, back with us today, man. Came back on Football Sunday yesterday and back with us in full time. We're back up at full strength. Max Gocher will be with us today too. Jordan Kitchens back in the studio.
The sizzling Max Gocher, huh?
Yeah, man. The golf was a walk. The consensus
it was
pick,
a walk.
Consensus pick. He didn't make a bogey until 16 on Sunday.
That was in.
And he was way
mode.
Yeah, he was way up. So he was pretty much. He didn't lead after the first round, but our consensus golf pick that came in somewhere around 65-1. That's back-to-back weeks now.
I think Jason Day had a putt, 15-footer or whatever, to pull within two with it, but the lead never got shorter than three.
Sepp Straka is who we're talking about, who won the Amex and was
my favorite Austrian golfer.
Yes, who's your favorite Chilean golfer? You see
Joaquin Niemann.
Yeah,
Joaquin. Is it Niemann?
No, Niemann. Maybe, yeah. He's your favorite
Joaquin,
golfer.
Yes, my favorite Chilean golfer.
The divisional round of the playoffs is behind us. The Chiefs and the Bills for the AFC title next week. The Eagles and the Commanders. Jaden Daniels with a phenomenal performance last night. Bills and Ravens was supposed to be the best game of the weekend. It was the closest game of the weekend. Bad weather, snow all day yesterday. We got the national championship game tonight. Tim Murray, long time. How would you describe his relationship with Notre Dame, Jim?
Well, he's just a big time Notre Dame enthusiast, man.
Yeah.
He goes to a game or two every year. It's kind of in his blood. But Charlie, he's also a Washington Redskin Commanders enthusiast. He grew up in the D.C. area.
We're going to get a lot of that today because Troy Mackner, obviously, that's his team.
Yeah,
he was pretty excited on Twitter on Saturday. A lot of them.
How can you not be?
It's
as
big of a turnaround as there's ever been in the sport. In the NFL, there's only 4 other teams that have gone from second worst or worse all the way to the conference title game. One of those was famously the 2006 Saints. But it's exceptionally rare for a rookie quarterback to excel the way he is, and even more for when you have a quarterback that's taken that high. The team was lousy the year before. This is when you talk about blow it all up. Okay, that's one of the famous
right.
Blow it all up and start over. Okay, this is about as close to, because you really can't do that with the salary cap floor. This is close. New owner, new GM, new coach, new quarterback, second worst record in the league. Now you're a step away from the Super Bowl.
And even in our listening area, in our market, where Jaden Daniels won a Heisman Trophy for your fan base, one, he didn't bring as much excitement to the fan base as the previous guy he replaced. And two, how many people were saying, "Oh no, he's going to be way better than Caleb Williams"?
Not very many.
No, even where your source, where you think we have seen him, we have paid closer attention to him than a lot of people.
I said that I would have taken Daniels ahead of him on the show, but I would be lying if I told you I thought he would have anything remotely resembling this kind of season. I think if you'd asked me before the season started, what's a good season in Washington? I just said, well, if Daniel starts the whole way and doesn't get hurt and has a reasonable season and they win 7 games, that's a big improvement.
What rookie quarterback has it this season? Dan Marino?
Stroud last year got him to the second round of the playoffs, but to the championship game, there ain't very many.
Dan Marino?
Second year.
To
the Super Bowl.
Purdy was
in the championship game as a rookie. In 2021.
It was last year where they got beat on Christmas Day, but he was the favorite to win the MVP at that time. So that's his second year. Mahomes was second year.
Yeah.
I mean,
as a rookie quarterback,
kind of nobody, huh?
And he would, if they win, he'd be the first rookie quarterback to ever start a Super Bowl. So
greatest rookie season ever.
You'd be hard pressed to come up with a better one. I'm trying to think.
I mean, Stroud was good last year, but they won one playoff game at home against Joe Flacco and the Browns. This guy's won 2 road playoff games.
Yeah, the number of road playoff wins exceeds
He's got more than
Hall of
Drew,
Fame.
he just
Yeah, Hall of Fame
doubled Drew Brees
quarterbacks. Now Mahomes hasn't played very many. They played until last year. They played all of their playoff games at Arrowhead.
He
So
won 2 last year.
yeah, those were the first ones he had ever won. So and Brady's got the most. Flacco's got a bunch. Those Baltimore teams he was on played a lot of road games, and he won 8 of them. But 2 playoff wins on the road. I mean,
no turnovers, no punts.
They punted one time.
I know, one to 2 games.
Mm-hmm. No, he's been phenomenal, and the poise that he shows, it doesn't seem like any of this phases
I
him.
don't. He poise. If he was struggling, man, this guy doesn't care. He's wired like that. I hear it. I know, but he's just kind of he's giggling with the Tampa Bay guys at a critical point. Their defensive guys who are trying to get to him. Remember when they tried to draw him off sides of the long count? Why not? I mean, use a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, timeouts don't mean much at that point. Just try and draw him off sides. The whole thing, but the poise is that's just him, and it's the anti-Joe Burrow. And as much as that worked for Joe Burrow, because I mean, Joe Burrow was in your face, demanding, challenging his teammates. I mean, he's knocked out in Glendale, and no, I ain't getting out. You didn't know. Don't warm us up. I mean, that's not Daniels. But they're in their own way. As a leader, you got to be your own guy. You gotta just do it. And he's way more leader by example. And man, they're just a really, really super. I mean, it reminds me a lot of that Saints first year after Katrina.
It's got a lot of similarities. It's got a lot of similarities. A rebirth of the franchise, different types,
major transitions in an organization. Sure, yeah. I mean, you talking about ding dong, the witch is dead. I mean, finally you get Snyder out of there, and so you have a little breath of fresh air. And there was a lot of hope, even when they did a preseason game and they brought the new owner into the press box. They talked about, I mean, just a little hope. Well, the Saints' hope was, well, at least our team's coming home.
Yeah, we're not losing them to San Antonio just yet. Yeah. Hang on.
It's here. Something to rally around the city.
Yes.
Which there was so uncertainty, and it was just piles of debris, piled up all over the city.
When they thought there would not be enough money in the city to buy the tickets and buy the suites to keep Benson there, they did. For this, they just are trying to get Daniel Snyder out of there. And the hypocritical NFL owners who complained about Snyder, complained about all the things, the sexual harassment stuff, all of the slimy stuff that he did not make a move to get him out until what? Until they were with, he was withholding. Yeah, he was, they found out that he was withholding road ticket receipts, which is, I think, as far as revenue streams go, pretty down the list. But as soon as they found out that he was stealing money from him, that he was out the door.
Right.
Washington, Quinn's done a terrific job there. They get 5 turnovers in this game. The turnovers were a big story the whole weekend. He's getting big-time performances out of veterans. Guys like Zach Ertz and Austin Eckler, who are past the prime of their career but are still very, very productive football players. And, for Detroit, I thought, on the interception return when Goff took the big hit, which should have been flagged, but it wasn't.
It's a clear penalty.
I don't think that he was right the rest of the game. He looked like, first of all, they didn't throw it nearly as much. I think part of that's the fake, the end around of the pass from Jameson Williams was a byproduct.
Teddy was in.
Yeah.
That
they didn't think, they just didn't put the ball up as much after he got hit, and I thought he was definitely off. They turn the ball over 5 times. Washington turns it over none, and that was a big theme of the weekend in 3 out of the 4 games. The losing team outgained the winning team in all 4 games, but in 3 of those games, everyone but the first one, the losing team had lost the turnover battle.
Not only did they outgain, they first downed them too. All 4 games, the team that lost was in catch-up mode. The team that won was in protect mode. They check that stat out as far as what percentage of the game did the team that won lead? I mean, you want to even go less. I mean, how much did they trail? I mean, Buffalo trail for what? One drive? They answered it, and then Lamar's back-to-back turnovers. But Charlie, you got some veterans with some leadership. That's nice, but it's all on Daniels. He's a headache to deal with, and he is just taking a very ordinary supporting cast. And you went through yesterday on Football Sunday the other rookie quarterbacks who have reached the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
It does not even compare to the supporting cast that those teams had. And he's very, very, and he is a headache to stop. And they just can't stop. And it's some sloppiness by Detroit as well. And not just with the turnovers, but 4th and less than 5, you get 12 men on the field.
Yeah,
can't have that.
Set up 1st and goal.
I mean, your safety who's in contain on his side, he bites on
Terry and Arnold
on 4th and less than 5 as well, and you give up a contain to Jaden Daniels. He's got to be your concern. You're not going to be able to stop a player on 4th and 1.5 on a run up the A gap anyway. That's just some sloppiness there, and a little bit of Detroit. Goff got banged up, but they were down multiple scores a lot, and they were just trying to. They were having to press the issue, and also with the trick play. So many of those trick plays have worked this year. I mean, Williams. That's when you put the ball in and you make a wide receiver a passer, and you don't expect him to just throw the ball away when something's not there.
I wonder if
hell of an interception as well.
I wonder if they would have called that play if Goff wouldn't have taken that hit. We'll never know.
They've called him this year.
I mean, yeah, they've called other shots.
Now they did call the Teddy. They helped out Teddy on a reverse, but they called with the little inside shovel. That was with Goff, right?
Yeah. Nifty little play.
They run the hitch and pitch against San Francisco. They do it.
And with all that, they went to the 4th quarter down 3. Even with all the turnovers, Detroit goes to the 4th quarter down 3, and that's where Washington put together. This was one of the impressive things to me. You're in a 1-score game on the road, NFC Championship on the line, and he put together back-to-back touchdown drives. Long touchdown drives at that play. Very, very difficult to do. If I was Washington is beyond playing with house money now. I think they got a real shot to beat Philadelphia because I don't think Jalen Hurts is right. I don't think he's playing. I know he's not playing well, but I don't think he's right. I think they got a great shot. I'm not wild about the kicker. I think he's weak, but other than that, I give him a great chance to win in Philadelphia on Sunday.
We'll see.
I mean, they're underdogs and they should be. I get it, but man,
Philadelphia, if
they've beaten that team before, so this is a whole different situation.
That's the game that Hurts got knocked out early,
and they won it on the last play, essentially the last play of the game. But the first game they played, the Thursday night game, was a competitive game. The Eagles won it, but they didn't blow them out.
That was a game where McLaurin had one target. 2 targets, 1 reception, and they were able to get pressure, and they were able to take him away because they were getting pressure with their front 4, just rushing 4. And it was just kind of after an early Washington lead, it was a steady beatdown by Philadelphia. And then we don't know. Kenny Pickett had to come in the game. And one thing we know, if Kenny Pickett's in the game, A.J. Brown's not reading inner excellence. I mean, because he gets targeted over and over and over and over. Might have been the most targets he had all season. I mean, it was just one after the next. A.J. Brown had a key drop, but then Hurts threw a bad pick that was dropped as well. So those kind of even out. But Hurts is, there's no comparison to the form of these 2 quarterbacks right now. Daniels is playing the best. He's the most dangerous. He's the biggest headache to deal with out of all the quarterbacks. Now, he did have the one game that was played in comfortable, offensive-friendly conditions in a dome. And the others were played in some pretty rough conditions. So, with that being said, this will be his first playoff game where he's got to play in some tough weather. and not sure if that will affect things at all.
Well, Washington, their MO is very clear. What can you do to stop Saquon Barkley? He had 150 yards in the second game. He had 146 yards in the first game. The 2 games against the Rams, he went over 200 yards both times. He's the most important guy on the field for Philadelphia. I know that. So they got to do something with him. I don't know how many people you can put in the box, but whoever's available, I would put him in the box to try to stop that guy. We're here at Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill. Now, we will be closed tomorrow due to the inclement weather, but I'll be back on Wednesday night, line dancing on Wednesday night. Cottonmouth, they'll be performing live music every weekend here at Big Mike's. They'll be here on Saturday. Monday nights, they do trivia. Next week is Family Feud trivia. And one of the best happy hours that you're going to get anywhere. From 3 until 7 on Monday through Friday and all day on Sunday. It's $2.50 domestic bottle and draft beer, $4 wells and $4 wines every Monday through Friday and all day on Sunday. If you're coming out to watch the championship games next Sunday, you get happy hour drink prices all during that here on Aspen Square in Denham Springs.
It's called the Mayo lunch special. Just remember that. Because
yes.
Red beans and rice with fried catfish.
Red beans and rice here on Monday. You may have talked me into that. Live at Big Mike's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. Service today, every day. Nobody likes to go to sleep hot. With a full staff in both Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Total Maintenance is an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, and Generac and Cummings generators. In Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Total Maintenance, your authorized AC dealer.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
If you're tired of erosion and mud and want your lawn looking its best, winter is the easiest time to lay grass sod. Let Quality Sod help you select the perfect grass for your lawn. For winter sale prices, call 610-4842 or QualitySod.com.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 113 through 124. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. While supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Are you looking for the perfect ride for your next getaway? Rent a car for the week at All-Star Toyota and only pay for 6 days. You get 7 days of adventure for the price of just 6. So whether you're headed out on a road trip, you need a vehicle for the week, or just want something new to drive, we've got you covered.
At All-Star Toyota, we offer a wide selection of Toyota vehicles ready to hit the road when you are. Conveniently located at Airline and Goodwood in Baton Rouge. Visit us today or check out our website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com for more details.
All-Star Toyota, people you know, cars you trust.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Give my friends at River City's 1 Hour AC and Heating a call today. For a limited time, schedule your heater safety inspection and tune-up and receive $30 off. 1 Hour AC and Heating will get your central heat in safe, efficient, tip-top shape for the cool weather. And don't forget the Moscona special, saving you $25 on any cooling or heating repair. Call River City's 1 Hour AC and Heating today 752-0001. That's 1 hour AC, 752-0001.
This is Will Campbell with the Tigers. Louisiana National Bank is committing to making every interaction with its customers an experience that's more exceptional than any you've ever encountered. If you're looking for a teammate to help you achieve your financial dreams, come see one of the Louisiana National Bank's uncommon bankers. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
121-12674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Big Mike's Live at Lunch. Today's show brought to you in part by Coastal Capital Advisors, because when it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter what your age or your financial situation is. Bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. They'll build a lifetime relationship with you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fondo and his staff, 337-981-1376, or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Bills and the Ravens was supposed to be the best game of the weekend, and I guess it was. It was certainly the closest of the games. Another one of the games that all the losers outgained the winners, but the Ravens turned the ball over 3 times, and the interception by Lamar Jackson, I thought was a bad decision and a bad throw.
You think so?
The fumble was equally bad, and then the fumble by Andrews was just a backbreaker from a guy who does not drop many balls and does not fumble. It was only his second career fumble. It was 24-19 at the time. Baltimore, it was a little over 8 minutes to go. Baltimore would have had the ball right around just outside the 40-yard line of the Bills with a first down, when what I thought was the most costly, the fumbles. And then the 2-point conversion, Andrews again. Mark Andrews is one of the best tight ends in the game when he's healthy, and that's a ball you expect him to catch every time. He just doesn't drop very many. He's got 3 drops on the season, hadn't dropped the ball since the middle of the season, but he dropped that one. They go to, if it's 27-27, do the Ravens win? Not necessarily. I thought Lamar Jackson played okay. Maybe not as good as some in the national media have said today. I don't think he played that well. I don't think he played terrible either. The turnovers were killer. I was surprised that Derrick Henry did not get going a little bit more against that Bills defense. He really did in the first game. I thought he would be the difference yesterday. I really like Baltimore. If they were playing again tonight, I'd bet the Ravens again. But this is the one thing with them. They've lost games that, you say, boy, what did you do? They lost to the Raiders. They lost to the Browns, games that they shouldn't lose. Now, the Bills are way better, obviously, than all of those teams. But I was surprised. I thought Baltimore would win the
Charlie,
game.
do you factor in turnovers when you handicap?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Lamar Jackson has turned the ball over 5 times all year. I don't expect him to.
Well, those are between the ear turnovers. That is pitiful decision on second down and early down, and that's pitiful ball security, where your ball security should be heightened with the conditions. It's easier to pop the ball out, and part of it is that Buffalo's a little bit more used to playing in those conditions than Baltimore. 19 games this year. How many times has Buffalo lost a turnover battle?
I don't know. You're going to tell me. Do you know the stats?
How many times have they won the turnover battle?
At 13-4, I'm guessing probably all but maybe 2.
16-0-3.
Okay, so
they've not lost
all but 3.
And so a guy that came into the league as kind of a wild man in Josh Allen. You still remember that first playoff game when they finally got to the playoffs, and he's throwing the ball backwards against the Texans and that overtime game that they blew a 16-0 fourth quarter lead. I believe it was late. He's protected the ball. I mean, even when he's frustrated, and he can't. They're not doing anything against Houston. He's protecting the ball. They didn't turn the ball over. So they have not lost a turnover battle all season long. I thought I could still when Saban, I can still remember that press conference when he's talking about Jamarcus, his loose ball security, and he's imitating his hand going all over the place. What the hell was that on Jackson?
It's a bad play.
And so when he put them in a hole that they stayed in the whole game, because back-to-back possessions, and they would have been penalized more had they not the Bills not had the phantom holding penalty, which stopped the drive. Okay, now the Bills got a Tre'Davious White third down interference, which was a bad call, and a call you just don't see in the playoffs when they let them play a lot more. But I mean, that throwing the ball up for grabs like a punt on second down, and the ball just out there in traffic. After that play, after those back-to-back turnovers, Baltimore was trailing the whole game and never caught up.
I can't. Nothing you said is not factual. Nothing you said is untrue. All of that was it.
But a guy that we is about to win his third MVP, shouldn't you be a better decision maker?
Yes.
Shouldn't ball security be important?
Yes, and for the season, it has been, which is why I expected that to. He only threw 4 interceptions the whole year. Do I expect him to put that ball up in that situation? I certainly don't. I'm trying to see exactly how many fumbles. The ball security has been a much better deal for him this season than it has been in the past.
But with him, he's had obvious regular season success, a ton, right? And so the big knock on, okay, can he win in the playoffs? You beat a beaten down Pittsburgh team with a wild card round at home. Big deal. I mean, he doesn't have some big wins. And this was one where, I mean, what are you doing? I just,
I can't answer. I can't answer that. And
they were lucky to have a shot at the end. But I mean, come on, Buffalo. Call Josh Allen on the quarterback power. When you need it, you have it. Why don't you run that twice when you need short yardage by the goal line where he's really effective?
You asked me if I would have kicked the field goal. I said yes. What would you have done?
Max, what would you have done?
Oh, I know what the robot's doing.
At the end of the game,
Yeah,
Buffalo?
Buffalo up 5, 4th and 2, is it? Charlie, you have the exact?
Yeah, give me a
4th and 2 from the 3.
That's about right.
Up 5 with 4 minutes to go or something like that?
That is as much of a toss-up as it gets, I think.
I think it's
I understand why
I
they
battle
kick
with
the
it
field
too.
goal.
I can kind of live. Here's my
4th and goal at the 3:29 to go.
Here's my argument for both. Okay, obviously field goal, it's a one possession game, but you have a chance to stop them and you have a chance to stop the 2-point conversion. They did neither, but Baltimore stopped themselves.
Yeah, well,
and that was a difference. That 3 points was a difference in the game. But the other thing is, what is Buffalo's strength? Their offense or their defense? Clearly, their offense.
Yeah, Josh
okay.
Allen.
Okay. Well, I want maybe the game to be decided with my offense, and so I battle. I can look at both sides, and I thought it was a really, really tough call. So I mean, I can live with either one. I just thought that was a real. I mean, where did Buffalo have the ball? I mean, they're putting them away. They're going in. Baltimore really wasn't stopping them. They were running the ball and running Allen, and every time they needed it, on the 4th and 2, what'd they do? They went power, and he got like 5 yards. Easy. I've got to run that play.
Well, no, they did run it twice. They ran it on
ran the running back.
Allen. No, Allen ran on second.
On third down.
Yeah, he did. They stopped him for no gain.
Out of the gun, I believe. But
it was out.
Yeah.
It was out of the gun. My deal is, and I can listen to an argument the other way too. I'm not, dyed in the wool on this thing, but I think you put the pressure on the other guys. Say, okay, there's 3.5 minutes to go in the road on the snow. You're going to drive the length of the field, score a touchdown, and make a 2-point conversion. And that's still not going to beat me. It's just going to tie me. I liked what they did there.
Well, they also have to go, 27 more yards if you go for it too and don't get it.
True, but if they score a touchdown, then you're behind. If I go up 8 points, the best you can do. If you do all those things, you go all the way down the field, on the road in the snow, and you make the touchdown, you still got to make the 2-point conversion. And even then, you only tie me. And if you get the touchdown quickly, maybe I got a shot in regulation. If not,
Right.
I got a shot
30.
in overtime. You know,
They still had a minute 30. Looking back, I mean, Buffalo, even if they
Buffalo's definitely going to have a shot. To get down and get a field goal there. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, almost like Baltimore scored a little too early. I mean, it was almost. They scored. They have to. They're down. They got to get the 2-point conversion. I get it, but that was a lot of time, and I think they had all their timeouts.
He scrambled around for about 8 seconds on that play before he found the guy for the touchdown.
And that's what he can do. And in late in the game, your defense is not as fresh as they were early in the game. So you can't say, well, we stopped them, for most of the game. So there's a lot of things going on. It was tough, and maybe that's the difference. I forgot that they ran him on their favorite play, the power play, back to back. And so if we got stopped on there, we got to kick the field goal. And that definitely influences when you're like, say, 31, and you lose yardage, even if it's a half a yard, you get stuffed, man, that's got to make you think a lot harder about going for it again when we do it. What happened to Texas and Sarkisian? If you don't think they lost a yard just going right up the middle on first down, it didn't affect and throw him off a little bit. Now, I still wouldn't have run wide, but it'll throw you sideways. There's no doubt. Tough situation right there. But the Bills kicker was one that could handle the snow. That was a key 51-yard field goal that he hit. Tyler Bass.
That ain't an easy place to kick.
No. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, a Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060. A full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get when you dial 296-0060. Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose our great team at Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Big Mike's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Should your travel plans take an unexpected turn, the Genesis Roadside Assistance Program is there to help. Whether you need a tire change, transportation to the nearest Genesis retailer, or reimbursement for certain unexpected overnight expenses, we have your back. This benefit is available for 5 years from the date of first usage. Choose luxury in 2025. Visit us today at Genesis of Baton Rouge, where luxury and performance meet. Airline Highway across from Women's Hospital, or at genesisofbatonrouge.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Jake and T-Bob here, and when it comes to roof replacements and repairs, there's a #1 top-rated roofer you need to know, Pelican Roofing.
Pelican Roofing has literally hundreds of 5-star reviews and was a recipient of the 2019 Better Business Bureau Integrity Award. Hey, we know there are a lot of roofing companies, but there's only one, Pelican Roofing.
And Baton Rouge and Lafayette and all the surrounding areas, they even offer 0% financing for those who qualify. Call for your free estimate at 225-228-2865 or visit pelicanroof.com.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, downtown facing Town Square. At Jolie Pearl, we're pretty shucking good. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood? Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood. Well, I guess along with those sizzling steaks, we do have wood-fired oysters and scallops, beautiful sea bass, rich Ora King salmon. So yeah, Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood. Jefferson Highway across from Palermo Ristorante. Tell Leo that Kevin sent you. And don't forget, there ain't no cake in that crab cake. Come and see us.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
If you have a loved one who could benefit from in-home nursing care, Decision Critical Concierge Nursing Agency may be exactly what your family needs. My family worked with Blasia when receiving care for our son. Her team at Decision Critical are exceptional nurses that provide short-term and long-term nursing services for patients of all ages from the comfort of their own homes. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. Visit DecisionCriticalBR.com to schedule a discovery call today.
Do you have a big business, small business, or nonprofit? Whether your business is planning its next big step or just taking its first, you can benefit from Gulf Coast Bank and Trust's knowledgeable bankers, their personal service, and business solutions. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
If you live in Ascension or Livingston Parish, you need one of our red cans this new year. Just make the switch. It's a perfect New Year's resolution. Visit trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-1674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. 3 best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Mackner from Bet Rivers.
Boy, isn't this convenient. Every time Washington has a big win, he's there on Monday to soak it up. You know, when they lose the big games, the playoff games, we had Troy on, he's nowhere to be found. Troy, how convenient you show up today.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to have you back, Jimmy. Hope everyone's doing well. I'll tell you, it's convenient that I'm not around when they lose playoff games because they haven't lost a playoff game in 5 years because they haven't been to the playoffs in 5 years.
I'm excuse tongue in cheek, Troy. There's no doubt, but I mean, what chance did you give them? I mean, what you feeling watching that thing unfold? Because man, after falling behind a little bit early, I mean, and then losing a 4th down when you put Mariota in, you're like, and then, man, they just took control, and then they went on that spurt when you throw in the pick 6 as well, and Detroit never could stop Washington when it counts.
Yeah, I did give them a decent chance. Certainly Detroit on paper had the more explosive offense. The defense was suspect, as is Washington's defense. I think Washington's play on all levels has been elevated by the new coach, the new quarterback, obviously. They're just playing far more cohesive football, but they don't have the weapons that Detroit has. But, and I don't know if it's a fandom talking, but having watched, every snap of the last 6 weeks, it's hard to not watch this team play and think they can't beat anyone. Now, going into Detroit was a super hostile environment. Certainly, there were several things that had to go right for them to win the game. You have to win the turnover battle, and the running attack had to be improved. It had been dreadful, just barely over the Mendoza line against the Buccaneers, enough to continue some drives. And this was Brian Robinson's best game in basically 8 weeks, maybe even 10 weeks. And they certainly won the turnover battle. Detroit's offense really was limited in its passing attack. Once they started throwing picks, Goff looked a little, gun shy. There were more picks to be had. So the 2 areas that they really needed to dominate to win the game was the turnover battle and the run game. And those 2 areas came up in spades. And I think that's why they won the game. And now they're playing Philadelphia, tough environment. They lost there, played one of their worst games. They beat the Eagles at home, but that was mostly without Jalen Hurts. And yet still, you watch this team play and you think they can beat anyone because they're playing at such a high level, given that there is a talent discrepancy against basically every team they play.
Charlie, how much this too, is a first for the Lions and a loss also for the NFL playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
First ever 300 passing, 200 rushing game, and you lose. Now, how much is that contributed? Some of it is in some garbage time late.
Yeah, I don't know how much garbage time.
200 yards rushing.
I don't know how much garbage time there was, Jimmy. This was a 3-point game at the beginning of the fourth quarter, so it's not like this was 45-17, and then Detroit came back. Washington got those 2 long touchdown drives. I'm tempted to say not very much of this was garbage yards. If maybe the last
2 drives. Well, they got all the way down to like the 15-yard line, 20-yard line before, and then they got to the 11-yard line. So those 2 drives when you're down 17.
Yeah,
but not how much is rushing? Ain't a whole lot rushing there.
Very,
they're throwing the ball every time.
Very little of it. Goff after the interception was a little bit better than I thought. He was 14 out of 25 for 185, but he threw all 3 interceptions after he got
popped.
Yeah. So
the one he threw was not. He got popped after. On return.
Yeah, right.
So he threw 3 more after that one.
Yes. No, counting that one. Counting that one.
No, so
counting.
So it's 2.
Yeah, 2 after that.
And 1 is at the end, which was kind of a, he's trying to get them in so they can have enough time to get an onside kick and get the ball back and stuff like that. So, 1 during kind of the real stretch of the game.
Threw for 128 before and 185 after, but the picks.
Yeah, Troy. So where was the action, man? Where was the public on all of these 4 games this past weekend? We certainly saw some. Was it a middle situation with the Kansas City and Houston game with the safety at the end? How about the line movement on the Rams? Rams were mostly 6 all weekend, closed at 7. Get us caught up to date where the line movements had an impact on who won and who lost with the spread.
Yeah, both those games, like you mentioned, were basically middled. We took a loss overall on the Eagles game. Not even 6 figures, and then we took a small 6-figure win on the Chiefs game. The interesting thing I saw on social media, everyone was bemoaning or highlighting that safety at the end. Oh my gosh, that impacted the spread so much. That's got to be a bad beat. Well, to be frank, the bad beat was the blocked field goal by the Chiefs, because the second most wagered on play of any type of that game was Chiefs minus 8.5. And so that blocked field goal would have put the Texans at 8. So, if they made that field goal, it would have been 8. So by blocking that kick, the Chiefs saved their butts. And then this third most wagered on play was Texans minus 9.5. Plus 9.5. So actually those 2 plays ended up saving the second and third most wagered on plays, because that safety didn't knock down the Chiefs past 8.5, and the safety did get the Texans below 9.5. So it actually was beneficial what happened for the public. So, and then in the Eagles game, most of the money I believe was on 6.5. But it varied 6, 6.5, and even 7. I know it closed at 7. We did take a decent amount of money at Eagles minus 7, but most of it was around 6, 6.5.
Were there any 5.5s at any point on the Eagles?
Yes, I'm not sure if that was live or pregame alt line. Like, I don't know if the actual.
No, I'm talking about pregame, like early in the week. Max, were there any 5.5s?
I don't recall, but I'm looking.
But I'm sure it could have been, people buying a point, teasing it to 5.5. I'm not sure if the actual line was ever 5.5.
Okay, I know there were some 6s. Max, what's the name of the first videos we ever shot for Bet Rivers?
Chalk early, dogs late.
There you go. Rams and Eagles, and also Kansas City in Houston. Now, it was odd way to happen, but it's kind of a rule of thumb.
Well, there were some very scarce 5.5s when it first opened.
What's that?
There were some very scarce 5.5s early in the week.
There you go. Yeah, I thought I saw a couple 5.5s out there, but they were hard to find, but they were out there.
One more thing on that safety, and we brought this up on Football Sunday yesterday. When the safety came in, somebody posted online, says, "Oh, well, Vegas must have called in that safety." And Chris Andrews out at the South Point said, "Yeah, we love getting middled. Yeah, that's what we wanted, because for most of the week it was 8.5, and then it was 9.5 when they kicked the ball. So they got the book got middled in that case."
All right, Max, what about that decision? A little unnecessary, a little bit, but taking a safety there.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you keep
get
punting
it.
from the 18-yard line. I mean,
You would need a punt block, return for a touchdown, then an onside kick, then a touchdown from there, right? So there would be a lot to go down, but I guess it technically eliminated any chance. So
I mean,
don't take your chances. I guess Andy Reid really
just
thinking
eliminating
ahead,
the
but
punt block. He's just eliminating the
no
punt block
block
from the
for a
situation.
touchdown.
You still a 2-possession lead.
I would say technically their win probability might have slightly gone up by taking the safety, but the game was over. We all know that.
Yeah. Troy, what about where's the action for tonight's national championship game? But did this thing get up to 9.5? But it never quite hit 10. And we talked about this. It seems like the public action on Notre Dame, they're 11-3 against the spread. The 3 that they lost, 2 were to MAC teams. So there's not exactly high volume games against Miami, Ohio, and Northern Illinois. And the other one was a cover by hook by Virginia, plus 21.5. They lost by 21 in South Bend. So the high profile games, the Irish, historically public, maybe public again tonight.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting. When we talked on Friday, it was pretty strongly favored there's money directing towards Notre Dame. I believe on Friday it was about 61% of the money was on Notre Dame to win, with about 63% of the tickets on Ohio State. That's now 53% of the money to win is on Ohio State, and 65% of the tickets on the Buckeyes as well. That being said, because Notre Dame is around plus 300, plus 335 on the money line, even though, they're right now only 47% of the money on Notre Dame, because they're, 3-4 to 1 underdogs, a Notre Dame win still massively important for the public. So even though, we've seen an uptick in money on Ohio State, the book will still be rooting for the Buckeyes. In terms of spread, 53% of the money is on Notre Dame, with 51% of the tickets on Ohio State. I mean, and it's barely 51%. So, the book, surprisingly enough, rooting for a 9.5-point favorite to win, solely because of the name of the team on the other side. Certainly, Notre Dame is played excellent since that loss to Northern Illinois. Everyone seems to love Marcus Freeman. Ohio State has played excellent as well, but Notre Dame is the most public team in the country in college football, save maybe Alabama. They're the Duke of college football. They certainly were boat raced the last time they played in the national championship game, but, people have really been backing this. So it's just a little bit interesting that, a pretty heavy dog is going to be the public pick, and the book will be rooting for a favorite, which usually is inverse in all the marquee and primetime matchups.
There you go. The current line at Bet Rivers, 9.5. It's going up to 45.5. Money line minus 455 for the Buckeyes. Notre Dame plus 335. Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Mackner. That's Machir. Hail to the Commanders. Yes, Troy. Good luck next weekend, my man. We're pulling for y'all.
Yeah, no, it should be a good one. I'm in uncharted territory, and I don't know if this is what happiness feels like.
There you go.
Thanks a lot, Troy. Live at Big Mike's, live at I'm sorry.
Yeah, remind everybody, our friends over at Total Maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. My buddy Lucas Ragusa and the great staff over at Total Maintenance. Service today, every day means same day service. You call today, you get service today. Factory authorized dealers for Carrier, American Standard, Dakin, and Ream products. Generators, an authorized dealer for Generat and Cummings generators as well. Total Maintenance, also membership programs. This is smart to get on, and that way it covers all of services with discounts and extended warranties. We know when it's time for your unit to be serviced, so you got way more important things to worry about and keep track of instead of when it's time for your service check. But service check keeps your monthly bills lower and also extends the lifetime of your unit as well. Total Maintenance in Baton Rouge, 480-1000. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
Live at Big Mike's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
After performing 30,000 dental implant procedures, the doctors here at Fusion Implant Center have witnessed life-changing transformation of so many patients. Hi, this is Dr. Leo Reagan.
And I'm Dr. Michael Casadban. Are you one of the 50 million people who are missing teeth and wearing dentures that just don't fit and are uncomfortable? Well, in just one day, you can have permanent teeth with a perfect smile.
The board-certified doctors here at the Fusion Implant Center guarantee your procedures to be done correctly, painlessly and cost effectively. We are the experts who teach these procedures all over the country.
This team of experts and our state-of-the-art operating rooms are conveniently located in one facility. This allows your treatment to be coordinated and can be started in as little as 10 to 14 days.
So don't go one more day feeling insecure or missing out on the ability to enjoy smiling and eating. Transform your smile in one day at the Fusion Implant Center. Call today or visit fusionimplantcenter.com.
Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Picture your dream bathroom. Got it? How about making it happen with David Duvall and One Bath and Closets? For more than 3 decades, David's been remodeling homes with a concentration on the most popular room in your home, your bathroom, whether it's a tub to shower conversion or a complete renovation. The great thing about One Bath and Closets is that David handles everything. One company, one contractor, One Bath and Closets. Check out the gallery of his most recent projects and schedule your free in-home consultation online at onebathandclosets.com. That's onebathandclosets.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
At Lofton, we're in the business of matching hard workers with some of the most sought-after employers in the Baton Rouge area. To Lofton, you're more than just another employee. We care about your interests, and we can help match you with a company that needs your skills. You can complete an application, schedule an interview, and even browse jobs by simply going to lofton.jobs. That's lofton.jobs. We also offer an unlimited $100 referral bonus. At Lofton, we put people to work. Lofton.jobs.
At the Renaissance Hotel in Baton Rouge, when it comes to hosting your meeting or event, we're in the business of saying yes. From our intimate boardrooms that can accommodate as few as 12 people to our extravagant ballroom that can host events for 500 people, the Renaissance Hotel wants to make your next event unforgettable. To book your next event, call the Renaissance Hotel today at 215-7000. That's 215-7000, 215-7000. Do you feel like you get hurt at the most inconvenient times? Brock's After Hours Clinic has you covered for a break, sprain, or strain. Open 7 days a week, nights and weekends. Walk-ins welcome. Learn more, brortho.com.
Happy New Year from all of us at Trash Rangers of Louisiana. Start your new year out right. Visit trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Big Mike's, where they will have line dancing on Wednesday night. Cottonmouth will be on stage on Saturday at 9 o'clock. But they will be closed tomorrow due to the inclement weather, and so will we. We just got that word that there will be no local shows tomorrow. So take the day off, Jimmy. You come back, you work one day.
So the golf, the golf picks, back to T-Town. The golf picks, Max, so when do they do this? Because I remember the Scheffler win. I think it was the Cincinnati Rams Super Bowl. The playoff carried into the middle of the first quarter.
Correct. So the Super Bowl, the Waste Management, they do that up until the Super Bowl. They try to lead in the Super Bowl with the Waste Management Super Bowl week, but they don't go up against Conference Championship Sunday. So they're going to move the Torrey Pines event from Wednesday to Saturday. They've done that for a few years now. Torrey Pines.
I'm
week.
sorry. I'm getting confused up. Oh, no, the Torrey Pines is going to be Tuesday through Saturday.
That is,
my bad.
Yeah, Wednesday through Saturday this week will be Torrey Pines. It's a weaker
Super
field.
Bowl
But
Sunday, Charlie.
I think it's a
what
good
is wrong
move.
with me, Charlie?
Your whole schedule, your whole timing is your equilibrium's a little off. Right?
The other thing is, CBS has the coverage for this event, so they don't want to go. They don't want to give it up for the NFL. Which would be Sunday. They'll have one of those games. So,
you like it?
I think it's what they should do. Nobody was watching Torrey Pines on Sunday up against the NFL. You weren't going to do that, so you might as well get out in front of it.
Start a little earlier, huh?
Yeah, Wednesday to Saturday works.
Okay.
It works.
Okay. I guess if it's on the East Coast, you could start a lot earlier.
It ends up Saturday is a good day for it. Final round. All your eyeballs are kind of on the golf.
So no local shows tomorrow.
No shows.
T-Bob. No Moscona.
No Hester.
No yell practice.
No yell practice. And
no Hanny.
And no not us either.
And me again.
Everybody.
One day in a row is too much. Two days.
Take the day off. Hold your national championship takes for another day. Live at Big Mike's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Max, who's this guy? Is he the governor of Louisiana?
Live at lunch.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard, aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Start off the new year with money-saving cheer during our New Year celebration sales event at Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales. Expect more Supreme savings on Supreme's incredible selection of new Chevy Silverados, Tahoes, Suburbans, Equinoxes, Traverses, and more, all with the lowest financing and highest rebates available. Plus, at Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales, you always get top dollar for your trade. So this new year, together, let's drive to Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales or SupremeChevy.com. That's SupremeChevy.com.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Do you have hot concrete around your pool, harsh concrete that hurts to walk on, or grease stains in your garage? We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana can handle it all. We work with you to not only get what you need, but what you want. Locally owned and family operated with 10 years proven experience with construction and concrete coatings. From commercial to industrial, we do it all with the best warranty, ASTM proven products, and the best prices. Check us out at WeDoConcreteCoatingsLLC.com. We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana.
Call my dad today. 225-400-3835.
Kickstart your new year with Shawbill's Tire and Auto Service. For the month of January, get $50 off instantly when you buy a set of 4 select Michelin tires. Plus, get free installation, a $118 value when you use your Shawbill's credit card. Visit ShawbillsTire.com to shop Michelin tires and for complete offer details. Shawbill's, we keep you rolling. Offer expires January 31st. Void where prohibited. Subject to credit approval.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
When your business needs a van that delivers, the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter is built for performance, space, and reliability. With best-in-class cargo capacity, advanced safety features, and the durability you expect, the Sprinter is ready for any job. And with inventory catching up, Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge has a full selection of Sprinter vans available now. Plus, take advantage of Section 179 tax savings by purchasing before year-end and potentially deduct the full cost from your 2024 taxes. Visit us on the Airline Highway in Baton Rouge or at mbobr.com today.
This is Will Campbell with the Tigers. Louisiana National Bank is committing to making every interaction with its customers an experience that's more exceptional than any you've ever encountered. If you're looking for a teammate to help you achieve your financial dreams, come see one of the Louisiana National Bank's uncommon bankers. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Big Mike's here on Aspen Square with the best happy hour going right now, 3 to 7, Monday through Friday, with $2.50 domestic beers, bottle and draft, and $4 Wells, $4 wines. And that's all day on Sunday. You want to come out and watch the 2 championship games? Yeah, happy hour drink prices all day here at Big Mike's.
All right, let's go out to Las Vegas. VSiN's Tim Murray, my buddy. I spent some time with when I visit out in Las Vegas and jump on their shows. Tim, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. It's cold here, Jimmy. I'm sitting outside of Starbucks right now. It's a little windy. I don't like this cold weather we're getting in Vegas. It's supposed to be like 60 and sunny.
I could tell you, well, we are shutting things down. No local shows tomorrow because of our freeze.
Snow day.
Yeah, we have off for a snow day tomorrow as well. So, Tim, Philly, so where did you grow up exactly, Tim?
So I grew up outside Washington, D.C. Plenty of Notre Dame fans there, but my dad went to Notre Dame, so I was born into a Notre Dame family. I was joking yesterday on my show. There's a Shane Gillis commercial where he jokes when someone asks him, "Hey, did you go to Notre Dame?" He's like, "Yes." No. You know, there's a lot of us. There's a lot of these Subway alums. That's what they call them. But grew up in the D.C. area, but my dad and my sister went to Notre Dame, so at least I am partially involved.
So, but you grew up a Redskins fan as well, right?
I did, yeah. So it's been kind of a crazy time. You know, I don't know if I've ever told this story, and I don't want to bore your listeners, but I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with that organization because I was working locally in D.C. before moving out to Vegas, Jimmy, and I was working for the radio station that was owned by Daniel Snyder and the Washington Redskins, and I was laid off in 2017. So there was a bit of a love-hate relationship with that organization, but he's gone. And your guy, man, I mean, he's magic. He could. I know there's an inauguration going on right now, but I can tell you what, he could be elected president in that city tomorrow for what he's doing.
He has been awesome. So look, we won't count that. That little basketball play-in against Signetti, who's playing for a moral victory and not really trying to win. So we won't really count that. That was a lot of.
I was told, Jimmy. I was told on College Game Day that he beats the bleep out of top 25 teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, all this braggadocious, and then you punt inside Notre Dame territory in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. I was just stunned by that.
Yeah, moral victory. So both your Commanders and both your Fighting Irish have won 2 playoff games away from home. So what has been the source of more excitement for you, man?
I mean, Notre Dame.
Okay.
I grew up, my dad is, my family's from New York, so it wasn't like it was ingrained in my blood. I was the only one in my family, Jimmy, born in the nation's capital. Everyone else was born in New York. So we were Redskins fans. To be honest, the team that we gravitate to the most is the Nationals because we're a big baseball family, and they came into existence in 2005. So that was a team that we kind of adopted immediately. Not to say that we didn't like the Redskins. We went to plenty of Redskin games. I have very few memories at RFK Stadium, more so at the dump that they play at now, which is Northwest Stadium. But, yeah, look, I'm excited for Washington, no doubt, but there is not even a comparison for me, Notre Dame over Washington. I mean, this run has been just unbelievable. I was at the Orange Bowl last Thursday night when they beat Penn State, Jimmy, and that field goal. I don't think I've ever been that excited as a fan at a sporting event in my life when that field goal looked like it was tailing out and then hooked back in. And they got the victory over Penn State.
Tell me, you may know the answer. Why is that stadium such a dump? Because when they built it, it had more suites than any other stadium in the NFL. They made such a big deal out of the capacity and the suites. It was FedEx Field, I think, when it opened.
Yes.
They made a big deal out of it. More suites than Texas Stadium, which was tops before that. How did it go from that to such a dump in such a short period of time?
Well, I think the location is horrendous. It's not really close to anything. It's in Prince George's County, Maryland. So it's just kind of off the highway, guys. There's not really anything. You know, nowadays you want your stadiums to have these, things built up around it. It's now you have to go there. You can't take the metro there. So I think proximity and getting there was always just kind of a pain in the butt. And then, the stadium, never really, to me, brought the bells and whistles, and, there's a lot of iconic videos from RFK Stadium of the stands rocking. Look, RFK Stadium was a dump too. I mean, let's be honest. Like, it was not a nice stadium, but it had the nostalgia and it had that intimate feeling, almost college-esque, when you would go to those games there at RFK Stadium when they were rocking back in these early 90s. But I think just it brought nothing special about it regarding, the atmosphere, the proximity to D.C., Baltimore, Virginia, just really nothing special about it. And then you really just had to go to the game and go home. There was nothing you could not do, go to a casino or anything like that. So we'll see. Maybe next year, coming in with anticipation of year 2 of Jaden Daniels, it'll be a little better atmosphere.
All right, so Notre Dame tonight. Tim, is this matchup tonight? Because, Penn State is a nice win, and that was. I mean, look, you got to respect Notre Dame's heart and their competitive spirit. I mean, they are not going to quit, and they. It looked like they weren't getting pushed around. I mean, they took the ball out of Allaire's hands and went 86 of the 90 yards on the ground, right in their throat to take a double-digit lead. But Notre Dame gets the backup quarterback to get a drive at the end of the half. Then they start the second half with the touchdown drive, and here they go. And it was game on. But everything is talking about, Brian Kelly left because he couldn't compete. This Ohio State roster, this is the one team this year that is more like that Alabama teams that, Notre Dame played and Brian Kelly played, or the Clemson team that they played. Is this as much of an uphill fight, or is Notre Dame's roster that much improved where they can compete tonight?
I think it's a complicated answer. I'll say this is by far the best team that they've faced this year, and there's no doubt. And, Jimmy, I live here in Vegas. A thing or two about wagering. Ohio State, despite the loss to Michigan and the loss to Oregon earlier in the year, this has been a team that's been power rated number 1 or number 2 all year long. The talent has been there. It's just putting it all together and avoiding poor play calling, Kelly, and things like that. So, I think it's going to be a unique challenge. I do think when you look at the Georgia game, and I'm not comparing Gunnar Stockton to Will Howard. Will Howard's a better quarterback, and the receivers aren't even comparable to what Ohio State has as to what Georgia has. But I think that's kind of the blueprint for Notre Dame's success today. Obviously, strong on defense, flying to the ball. I love their linebackers Notre Dame has, and I think they're going to need to cause Will Howard to make a mistake or two. And Notre Dame this year, 32 turnovers forced. They turn those into points more often than not, as we saw once again in the Sugar Bowl. They turned that fumble into a touchdown on the next play. So is it an impossible task ahead of them? No, I don't think so. I mean, to put it in perspective, the Washington Commanders were around an 8-point underdog going into Detroit, and they won that game going away. So I don't think it's impossible, but it's certainly a unique challenge. And I think the difficult thing for me trying to will this one home for the Irish is Notre Dame's strength is their secondary, and Ohio State's strength is their wide receivers. And it feels like, all right, who's going to blink first there? Now, I'll say this. Last year, Ohio State walked into Notre Dame Stadium with Marvin Harrison Jr., and Notre Dame held him to just 32 yards on 3 receptions. I think the guy for me today, guys, that's going to have a big one and has had 2 really good games for Ohio State is Emeka Egbuka. I think he's going to have a massive day. I played his player props over his receiving yards because it's just an embarrassment of riches when you look at the wide receivers that this team has. I mean, heck, Carnell Tate's a 5-star recruit, and he's their number 3 receiver, So They have so much firepower out there, but Al Golden, defensive coordinator, who, let's be honest, probably coordinating his last game at Notre Dame. My feel is that he probably goes to the Cincinnati Bengals to take over the vacancy that was left by Lou Anarumo getting fired. So we'll see what happens later this week. But I think Notre Dame defensively can hold on, but I just wonder, Mike Denbrock, in his first year back at Notre Dame, he's going to have to scheme it up, and he's going to have to figure out ways for the Irish to have some success offensively, guys, against the defense in Ohio State that, in my opinion, is the best defense in the country.
Yeah, but I think this is the game within the game, okay? And that is, Notre Dame likes to bring a lot of pressure. Well, to do that, you've got to leave your corners, in man. And the blueprint was provided. And football's a mimic for it. But Texas cover 2, extra attention to Smith. And, Smith had one catch, and it was a screen pass. And it forced them. Underneath stuff was there, but it also extended drives where Ohio State, committed penalties, having to put together longer drives in the next three drives, all which were the difference in extending those drives. But Notre Dame wants to do something, but Texas showed that this was an approach defensively that frustrated Ohio State a little bit. Do they break their tendency, or they steal the blueprint, or they go down swinging? Because I'm sorry, as good as Notre Dame's corners have been, Smith is a different animal.
No, there's no doubt. And I think Al Golden, who may very well win the Broyles Award for Best Assistant Coach in college football this year, I'll trust his intellect and his mind of how to figure this thing out. And let's be honest, Notre Dame has played Ohio State the last 2 years that I mentioned, and Al Golden's coordinated both those defenses and did a pretty darn good job slowing down, Jackson Smith and Jigba 2 years ago. I believe he got hurt early on in that 21-10 Ohio State win, and then last year Marvin Harrison Jr. So I don't anticipate this to be a, arrogance type of play where Notre Dame says, you know what? We played man all year. We're the number one man-to-man defense, and that's all we're going to do. I think they're going to switch things up. I think they're going to get creative. And, the cool thing about a national championship, guys, is you see all of these articles that come out talking to coaches on anonymity and, talking about, the unique aspects of both of these teams. And a bunch of coaches to a man have said when they played Notre Dame's defense, Al Golden would pull something out that they didn't have on tape. So I'm going to trust in Al Golden to make some tweaks. But look, Chip Kelly's a damn good offensive coordinator. I think this game, when you think about it from the coordinator standpoint, is elite. When you look at Mike Denbrock versus Mike Knowles, offensive coordinator for Notre Dame, defensive coordinator for Ohio State, and then Al Golden versus Chip Kelly. I think these are some elite coaching minds that are going head-to-head tonight, and it's going to be an incredible chess match. And ultimately, at the end of the day, Notre Dame's going to have to out-coach Ohio State and make those unique plays, because if it's just pound for pound, let's lace them up, there's no denying that Ohio State does have more talent than Notre Dame, especially when you look at the injuries that Notre Dame has. They're without one of their best defensive linemen, Riley Mills. He got hurt in the Indiana game. Benjamin Morrison, who very well could be a first-round pick in this upcoming NFL draft. He's been out since October, a cornerback, even though the freshman Leonard Morris stepped in and played well. So, look, Notre Dame's banged up, but so is Ohio State. That's no excuse. Ohio State's missing 2 offensive linemen that they had to start the season. So it's a battle of attrition. This is game 16 for both of these squads, and, we'll see how it plays out. But I think to your point, Jimmy, look, Notre Dame's going to have to make the right tweaks and push the right buttons. I know it's all cliche, but it's going to be a challenge. But this team has been up for the task, and they've been punched in the mouth quite a bit this offseason, and they've been postseason, and they've been figuring out ways to win it.
To me, I think that Notre Dame is I love the way they battle. I love the way but this is kind of, I thought you were at the game. I thought Penn State was a little bit better. The quarterback play was just so much better about Notre Dame than at Penn State. Allaire was awful. He was terrible in that game, and and all the way to the end. But I think they'll make it hard on Ohio State.
Jimmy,
go ahead.
I'll say this real quickly, and that's what I'm interested about, because you think back to the Michigan game, and Ryan Day and Chip Kelly got stubborn. They wanted to run the ball. They wanted to be tough. I do wonder if Notre Dame's going to try to bait them into, hey, you guys can run. If you want to run with Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson and, go 4 or 5 yards a clip, they'd happily take that, because honestly, Penn State should have never gone away from the run in the Orange Bowl. They should have played for overtime because Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton, Notre Dame really didn't have an answer for, especially if you shorten the field like they were going to do in overtime, obviously starting at the 25-yard line. I don't know how Notre Dame would have won that game in OT. I think James Franklin is, we all in the betting community like to call him very tongue-in-cheek, big game James. He messed up and made a mistake. He probably stuffed in Drew Aller at the end of that game. So I don't anticipate that to happen. Look, I think Notre Dame would love to get this thing into the dirt, make it ugly. If you guys want to run it up the middle against us and have long, sustained drives, I think Notre Dame would happily play that. They have to avoid the explosive plays. Look at what did in Texas. It's 7-7. They grind out that first half. And what happens at the end of the first half? They throw a screen play. Texas is caught with their pants down. It goes 75 yards. They need to avoid those explosive plays. They've done a great job at it this year, Notre Dame on defense, but they haven't played Jeremiah Smith. They haven't played Emeka Egbuka, Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins. They have to avoid those big-time plays, and that's what Oregon wasn't able to do, right? I mean, that was 34-0 in the blink of the eye. So, I think it's an interesting chess match and certainly a challenge, Jimmy. There's no doubt. One thing
And Howard, he threw a first down interception against Texas, so we know
against Penn State.
Yeah. And that's right. The pick six against Penn State did not score an offensive touchdown, but he's probably going to be an upgrade from a guy making his first career start in the Georgia game. And then a guy that acted like he was making his first career start in Drew Aller in the Penn State game. So, I mean, he's probably going to be.
And the guys that Will Howard gets to throw to they're on another level.
Yes.
I mean, that's the varsity, and Georgia and Penn State's receivers are the JV. Now, Tyler Warren is obviously a unique talent and the Mackey Award winner, and he had a pretty good game. But I think if you're Ohio State, you're kind of looking at the USC blueprint. And USC, I was at that game, Jimmy. USC was able to have some success through the air. Now, Notre Dame had no real resistance offensively in that game, so that's why Notre Dame was able to win. And they got a late pick six to get the cover that I know a lot of people were annoyed about talking about my colleague Matt Newman. But, USC was able to attack them man-to-man. Louisville had some success against their man-to-man defense, and this is the best passing offense. That's why I do think Al Golden is going to have to change it up. You can't just be, we're going to go man-to-man against this, and he knows that. And they know, and they've had extra time to prepare. So I think you're going to see some unique wrinkles, but, I keep going back to it. Look, Notre Dame, I'm not going to say they have to play A+++, but they have to play better than Ohio State if they want to have any chance to win this game. They need to force turnovers. They've been aggressive this year, Jimmy. Special teams as well. They need to play on special teams as well, like they did against Georgia.
In the last four games, we've seen Ohio State play two nearly perfect games and two games where one of them they lost and one of them they let their opponent hang around way too long. If you get the Ohio State A game, what you saw against Oregon, what you saw against Tennessee, they win this game, and they win it probably by more than one score. But if they play the way they played against Michigan, when they turn the ball over twice, if they play the way they did against Texas, where they kill 3 first-half drives with their own penalties, where they put themselves way behind the sticks, Notre Dame takes advantage of your mistakes better than maybe anybody. They did it against Georgia, that late play in the first half. Penn State falls down on defense. Leonard does not miss his receiver. If Ohio State gives them an opening, they'll take it. But if they play their A game, I don't think
they'll be rocking tonight at the linebacker just off of campus, baby. I mean, his team's got a Rudy spirit to him. I mean, the little dog.
A little more talented than Rudy. All right, let's not pretend. I mean, your guy from Baton Rouge, Jaden Osbury, would be starting for your defense right now. So let's relax a little bit there.
Yes.
This isn't a bunch of little sisters of the poor. This is a top 5 power-rated team, but Ohio State's better, and I think that's fair.
And I asked you that, going into the A&M game. So this defense this team was advertised. This unit defensively was supposed to be pretty good. And so, no, and you got to like how they responded. I mean, they just didn't play around and got sloppy with some of the teams they're supposed to beat. They blasted them. Minus the USC game that got hot through there.
Straight games, Jimmy.
Yep, 11-3 against the spread. The two of the 3 were against MAC teams, and Virginia by a hook. So that that lends itself to some public support, which we're getting today. One more thing: is Washington going to beat Philadelphia Sunday?
No. I think the run ends. I think Saquon Barkley is just unstoppable. And I think this Washington defense, I'm talking so much Notre Dame, the Washington defense, they made the stops that they had to make. I mean, Mike Sandstrill, the rookie out of Michigan, made a couple big-time plays, but, they were +5 in the turnover margin. Jaden Daniels is, as you guys know, on another level, but I just don't think it's going to be enough against Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia's offense is going to be too much against the defense. But, hey, I didn't think they'd go into Detroit and pull the outright win at 2 scores, so maybe I'll be wrong, but I think Philadelphia, just pound for pound, is just a better football team. I think the defense for Washington ends up being their undoing in the NFC Championship. First NFC Championship appearance since the 91 season when the Skins won the Super Bowl against the Buffalo Bills. So it's been a while.
The longest drought now in the NFC. How about them boys? Yes, indeed. Tim, enjoy the game tonight and Sunday. You're the best, brother. I'll see you soon in Vegas. So enjoy the games. We'll talk to you soon. My buddy Tim Murray out of VSiN. So good to have him on today. Of course, our consensus golf picks usually on a Wednesday, but we're closed tomorrow on Tuesday. But Dana Brown, the law offices of O.C. Brown, your consensus picks back-to-back, 100-1, 80-1. They hit the last 2 weeks. We're going to release them on Otter Locks because at Torrey Pines, it starts Wednesday through Saturday. It's a Wednesday through Saturday tournament this week. We will put those on Otter Locks and on our website,
LouisianaSports.net.
LouisianaSports.net. So Dana Brown at the law office of O.C. Brown, number 1-343-1111 for all of your legal needs. And we are off tomorrow, all the local shows, but we will have Otter Locks brought to you by Dana. But the golf consensus picks through Otter Locks brought to you by Dana Brown at the law office of O.C. Brown.
Live at Big Mike's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Show up early, cash out quarterly. The first 100 fans to show up to Twin Peaks for the big game on Sunday, February 9th, get a free square for a chance to win a Twin Peaks gift card at the end of every quarter. Plus, every fan scores free fried pickles just for showing up. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails in an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. Also, don't forget about our 29-degree drafts. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
It's a new year. Aren't you ready to finally get the IRS off your back? Hi, I'm attorney Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. We've helped so many people figure out their IRS issues, and they always tell us they wish they'd called us sooner. Friends, the IRS isn't going away. Matter of fact, they're ramping up their efforts. So now's the time to call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get between you and the IRS and make your life better. If you have wage levies, bank levies, tax liens, or unpaid taxes, call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get out in front of the IRS and devise your best resolution plan. IRS problems are legal problems. So call the Bryson Law Firm. We're local. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. Results may vary. LSBA filing number LA2316155.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Rouse's Markets has been baking Mardi Gras king cakes for 65 years. Their king cake crew bakes more than 600,000 king cakes during carnival season. You can smell that gourmet cinnamon dough throughout the store. Rouse's makes traditional king cakes and filled king cakes and new specialty king cake flavors every year. Send someone a taste of Mardi Gras. Rouse's ships their award-winning king cakes anywhere in the continental U.S. Order at rouses.com, official supermarket of the Saints.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Guarantee Media is hiring. Come join the company that's been named as one of the best places to work in Baton Rouge. Local and committed to your career growth. Visit guaranteemedia.com, an equal opportunity employer. Guaranteemedia.com.
This new year, we resolve to get you the roll-off dumpster you need for your project. Start your new year outright. Visit trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing.
Nashville.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand at louisianasports.net, 1045ESPN.com. We will be putting off the podcast and Handycast until later in the week. The national championship setup, I noticed the comedian Shane Gillis is on set and Saban's not.
Very noticeable.
Why does it feel everybody in that doesn't know it? Because I didn't even know this story you guys were talking about.
So this guy, this comedian Gillis is he's a comedian, but he's a Notre Dame fan. So, Notre Dame, remember, it was, I got very nauseated. I was down at the Beau Rivage at night they were the only game. It was the first game. It was the first new playoff form. I mean, it was just, my goodness. It was a little much, but, over and over. And so they were just building up Notre Dame, and it was a Notre Dame love fest. And Saban was on the set, and the guys on the game day crew basically misled the comedian and told him that he loves when you joke with him and stuff like that. He says, "Well, now with the NIL, we get to pay our players like you did at Alabama, Coach."
And he didn't like that joke very much, did he?
He got so defensive. He said, basically, no, I think we cheated by graduating players. We cheated by producing so many first-round draft picks. We cheated by having so many first-team All-Americans. If that's cheating, yeah, we cheated kind of deal. So my point is, he was overly defensive, which tells you that, that why would you be overly defensive about something you never did?
Shocked, I tell you. This gambling in this
Shane Gillis also, Saban it was cold that day, if you remember, Notre Dame, Indiana. He was wearing that hat, and he called him Alabama Jones, which is an incredible
yes,
joke.
He did. It was sort of that J. Crew outdoor hat.
So, Shane Gillis has talked about it since. He said he kind of got set up by the crew to joke around with him, and Saban wasn't too privy to that discussion. But, Gillis is hilarious. Tim Murray referenced it earlier. The Under Armour put out a commercial with Notre Dame. It's very, very well done if you haven't seen it.
Well, we expected more of the uptight Saban, right? And we've gotten where, if you didn't know and you're just watching game day, you think he's what's my boy McAfee's Batman and he's Robin. Whenever you say it, he's giggly. He's giggly.
He's been way more relaxed than we ever saw him. When he was here, you didn't get very many moments of levity. Okay, even in these informal press guys, he just not wired that way, or it wasn't. But he's older now, and he's retired. He's really adjusted to that. But I guess some things still you can't joke about.
Charlie, did you see Belichick any on his?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Is he less?
Absolutely.
Okay. They don't.
Well, we know they're capable of it. It's just you never got to see that. when
Well,
they were coaching.
because the paranoia of the football coach who's worried about, providing bulletin board material. He's going to give you nothing. Only you can.
It's part of what made them great
media
coaches.
availabilities are lose-lose.
Yeah.
And so I should put another media availabilities and injury reports for the Patriots are lose-lose. So they're not going to give you anything. And if you hate them, whatever, but when it's time to, Eli and Peyton, okay, I don't know. Everybody but me thinks they're way funnier. They're really not that funny. Okay. They're just normal kind of dudes. But Belichick's laughing at their jokes. They're kind of ribbing him and stuff like that. Come on, man. It's just a look. And McAfee, the one thing that Saban, there was that built in. He's still coaching, and he is on the weekly. He is accessible with McAfee weekly. So I think he's more comfortable with McAfee. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And the biggest hurt in the punch bowl when on game day, we couldn't wait to get him out of there, has been the biggest reason for Saban's humane approach and kind of relaxed and fun approach on this whole thing.
And I don't know if this is exactly how it went down, but I really thought at the time, and still do, that Saban did that deal with McAfee, which was so out of character for him, to see if he would enjoy doing media
Test
stuff.
the waters a little bit.
Yeah, let me see if I like this.
Dip his toe in there a little bit.
Yeah, and listen, if it had gone south, maybe Saban doesn't take the job on game day. Maybe he says, I don't want to do that. So maybe that was what pushed him in that direction.
Well, everybody else is on set. Saban's not.
A little taking a break right now.
A little more on that. Gillis said after the fact, McAfee and Herbstreit urged him to, kind of settle things, talk to him after the whole thing happened. Gillis said he went up to him and said, and Saban was like, "You think the SEC dominated because we cheated? That's BS." And then what was more hilarious was he had to help Saban down the steps, and he was like, "All right, now I'll help you out." So he was helping him out as Saban was like chewing him out.
No, I don't. But that's what you had. That's what the rest of the country had. The SEC fatigue. Yeah. It was getting whooped. Then but this is no SEC participant.
2 years in a row.
Yeah. Two years in a row. Anyway, but the most SEC-like team, the Ohio State Buckeyes, I think they're going to get it done. Don't forget our friends over at Los Reyes Mexican Grill across town on Lee, right across from Mike Anderson, just off of Nicholson. Los Reyes Mexican Grill. And so we do the show over there once a month. And when I go to the Queen and watch all the games on my way home, I love making my pit stop over there. Great staff over there. Scott and Kyle managing the place, Miss Blair behind the bar. Friendly folks over there. 3 screens behind the TV. And you got the happy hour 7 days a week. That's right. 7 days a week, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week at Los Reyes Mexican Grill. A wide range of menu items, all your traditional Mexican items. And you're not going to get that sticker shock when you get your bill as well. It is moderately priced. Los Reyes Mexican Grill. You haven't been in. Check it out. You won't believe the renovations of the new place. It looks awesome. On Lee, right across from Mike Anderson's.
Live at Big Mike's. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Sometimes it's so hard to find someone to do home repair, odd jobs due to storm damage, or just regular wear and tear over time to your home. Do like I did and call Clean Sweep Restoration and Demolition. Roofing, flooring, debris removal, electric, sheetrock, painting, and much more. Pretty much whatever home maintenance you need, Clean Sweep can handle it. Call Pat Green at 300-7064 for a free no-obligation estimate. Fully licensed and insured, reasonably priced, and for over 20 years in the greater Baton Rouge area. Clean Sweep Restoration and Demolition, 300-7064.
This year, enjoy the convenience of Genesis Service Valet, an ownership benefit that allows you to have your vehicle serviced without leaving your home or office. A valet will pick up your vehicle for maintenance and return it once it's done. Additionally, if required, the valet can provide a loaner or transport you to and from the retailer. Service Valet is available for 3 years or 36,000 miles with the purchase of a new Genesis. Visit us today at Genesis of Baton Rouge, where luxury and performance meet. Airline Highway across from Woman's Hospital or at genesisofbatonrouge.com.
Did your doctor prescribe physical therapy? And when you went to the location closest to your house, did they really work on you to get rid of your problem? Or did they take you through a list of exercises you could find on Google? Ladies and gentlemen, that is not physical therapy. My name is Robbie Bolton, owner of Evolve Physical Therapy and Sports. And if you're an active individual and you're having nagging knee pain with running, or your elbow or shoulder hurts, with tennis or hitting a volleyball, don't go to someone's one of many locations. Come to the location. Evolve Physical Therapy and Sports on Starring Lane.
Are you ready to buy land but just not sure where to start? Then you need to call me, Tommy Marsh, at First South Farm Credit in Thibodaux. At First South, we specialize in financing rural land and offer terms up to 30 years. Even if you're buying property out of state, we have a loan program that's right for you. So when you're ready to become a landowner, make First South your first call. Find us online at firstsouthland.com.
Do you have hot concrete around your pool, harsh concrete that hurts to walk on, or grease stains in your garage? We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana can handle it all. We work with you to not only get what you need, but what you want. Locally owned and family operated with 10 years proven experience with construction and concrete coatings. From commercial to industrial, we do it all with the best warranty, ASTM proven products, and the best prices. Check us out at WeDoConcreteCoatingsLLC.com. We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana.
Call my dad today. 225-400-3835.
If you liked Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar before, you will love the all-new updated Jolie Pearl in downtown Baton Rouge. Jolie Pearl is the place for the true oyster connoisseur, featuring a brand new extended menu. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar features oysters from all over the world, served up grilled, baked, and raw. Stop by for lunch, dinner, or before any event downtown or at the River Center. Jolie Pearl. Upscale oysters in a New Orleans-style atmosphere, North Boulevard in the heart of downtown, or online at joliepearloysterbar.com.
Did you know that over 50 million people are missing teeth and experience discomfort and embarrassment due to dentures that just don't fit? We have a solution to transform your life in one day. Hi, this is Dr. Leo Reagan.
And I'm Dr. Michael Casadban. At Fusion Implant Center, we have witnessed life-changing transformations of so many patients, even those patients who were told that they couldn't be helped.
The board-certified doctors here at the Fusion Implant Center guarantee painless and cost-effective procedures. We are the experts and teach this new technology all over the country.
The Fusion Implant Center, with its team of experts and state-of-the-art operating rooms, is conveniently located in one facility. No procedure is too complex for us. Every patient is a candidate. Let us give you back your confidence and smile.
Call today or visit FusionImplantCenter.com. Don't go one more day feeling insecure. Join the over 30,000 who have transformed their smile and enriched their lives in one single day.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Big Mike's Live at lunch. Big weekend in college basketball. Some of the highlights. Georgia gave it a ride with Auburn, but came up just a little bit short. Number 2 team in the country, Iowa State, goes down on the road at West Virginia. Great game at Rupp with Alabama bouncing back from that loss.
Predictably so.
Yeah. That was that's 2 games we've seen a top 5 team go into Rupp, and the winning team have over 100 points. Florida. I think it was
106-100. Kentucky beat them.
Yeah, and this game was 102-97. Alabama won the game. Vanderbilt beat Tennessee. Little court rush.
Yes,
court rush there.
Yes.
And then Ole Miss. Ole Miss going to Mississippi State. We liked State in this game. They did win. They didn't cover, but that game went to overtime at the Hump, and Mississippi State ended up winning that one by 3. And of course, LSU lost to Texas A&M on Saturday night.
Wild ending with Auburn, Georgia. I mean, Auburn took care of business. They went out to a big lead, and Georgia was right there. I think they tied it up, and it was tight. And then at the end, Auburn kind of pulls away, and you say, okay, I think they got it up to 9 with about 30 seconds to go. Auburn had a 3-pointer from the left corner, and then a kind of an alley-oop from an inbounds pass with like 0.3, maybe. And he had a great look about 3-4 feet right in front of the rim and just couldn't knock it down. So it was crazy that it came down to that, because Auburn, Bruce Pearl was telling the guys, nice job. The fans were kind of cheering and all standing up. Auburn, it's fashionable right now for Auburn fans to travel for basketball games right now.
Well, they're exciting, and they're winning these games without Johnny Broome. They feel like they're trying to get him back for the Alabama game, which is in the middle of February. It would be about a month. That game is February the 15th. Between now and then, they got to play Tennessee. They got to go to Ole Miss, and they got to play Florida. All top 15-ish
football. This is not football. You don't have to rush him back for the Alabama. This is not the Iron Bowl, okay?
No, but that's about where he's going to come back.
I know, but don't rush him back.
I'm sure they
Do you
won't.
think
No.
it makes a little? You did not concern. We're going to try and get him back for the Alabama game. I mean, it's just a little. Just chill out. There's way bigger fish to fry in the tournament.
And I'm sure if he's not healed up, they'll hold it. Bruce Pearl's not stupid.
And people have asked me, which one of these two teams I like better, and I like Auburn better. I think Auburn's got a little bit more pop to their game than Alabama. So Alabama was kind of predictable. They were so bad against Ole Miss at home. I mean, turning the ball over basically every third possession. That's not a Nate Oates team. And Kentucky was going to play their pace. They were going to get up and down. So that's where Alabama. But it was still a very impressive win. I'll tell you what, even in a loss, I respect Pope. His team is smart, Charlie. They're well coached. They're well coached.
I said this yesterday on Football Sunday when we were doing a little basketball segment. They moved the ball like the Spurs used to move the ball when the Spurs had their best
ball
team.
movement.
That ball moves.
It doesn't. It's not.
It's pretty to
stagnant.
watch.
Yes,
it really is.
Well, what's what BYU was last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
they were hard. They were hard out. That was a good team.
They were really. I mean, just. Some people I would give them out as a pick, and they'd watch him like, God, their ball movement's beautiful.
Yeah.
So this is multiple stops for him. He's got a limited track record, but man, his teams look good. And then you watch Arkansas play. I mean, it's not
pretty.
It's not pretty.
No.
And I mentioned, via telephone, we're talking about the longtime assistant that he had was his most valued bench coach. He's gone, and so he's got a long track record of not getting the most out of his roster, although they were very young to begin with. And now you lose your bench coach, and it's just a poorly coached team. And he's done some head-scratching moves, like the game at Tennessee, your conference opener. I'm going to admit we didn't do this, and this is my fault, but we didn't have a shoot-around today. Like, what are you doing, Calipari? I mean, I've got to think they've got some buyer's remorse in Fayetteville right now because he has a top three. I don't know if it's 1, 2, or 3, but it's a top 3 player payroll for his team this year.
The sum of does not equal the part. The parts are greater than the sum.
Well, that's coaching.
Yes, that 100%. And that Missouri team. This is how quick it can turn around. And I'll give you credit. I was a little bit too patient. Missouri won 0 games last year in the conference. They're 4-1 out of the
0-18 last year,
and they lost a game in the tournament too. They were 0-19 last year, and brought back. I think it was 3 guys, maybe it might have been 4 off that team. They're 4-1 out the gate.
I think Vandy brought back 1. I thought Missouri brought back not many.
2, it was like 3. It might have been 4, but like the 4th guy wasn't a starter. Like 3 guys that played.
So Max, this is one I gave out a couple of winners. I gave out Georgia was fortunate. Alabama won the game outright, but this was the game, and I did make a play on it at Beau Rivage and stop it on the way back home, but. What's the home court value? College basketball?
What
do you mean? A legitimate crowd. It's 5. This spread was 5. Okay, that's home court. They're playing at Missouri. Missouri is a little bit better than Arkansas. A little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, for them to be basically a pick 'em on a neutral, no, that line's off.
How in the world has Calipari just ruined John L. Davis, who was great at Florida Atlantic? I mean, he's been a non-factor.
Yes.
He's been terrible there.
Yeah, he was you're right. He's a smart, but for multiple years too.
Right. And I'm starting to talk about Cal in the past tense. I don't know how long this is going to last, to be honest. I think Arkansas, they've wanted a lot, and they've already been disappointed so sorely. I don't see how this goes on for much longer, maybe a couple of years.
Boy, Kentucky got off the hook for that money, huh? I mean,
they didn't put up much of a fight when he left.
Keep in mind, Pitino had to sell the fan base because it wasn't some. They were going for Hurley, okay, and I mean, I'm sorry, it's not pie in the sky when you're Kentucky. I mean, you can get, this is a team that went for, a program that went for Krzyzewski, whatever, he'd go for, they have, it's arguably the best job in all of college basketball. They're going to give you all the resources. And I tell you what, the excitement's back in that building. That was a tough crowd, man, that Alabama won that game on the road this past weekend.
I saw some Arkansas fans even, complaining. There were some old comments way back when Cal was talking about the conference and said, there are no easy wins in this conference. The Arkansas fan said, we're the easy win in the conference right now. That's what Arkansas is. They are the easy win right now.
And Arkansas has a big, beautiful, shiny building. They have a tremendous fan base. And then I go to Tuscaloosa and look at that dump with the asbestos growing at the ceiling. I'm like, this NATO, like you think Nate Oates and Calipari, maybe there's, man, beep, beep, zooming by.
Yeah.
And they're going to have buyer's remorse. This is not going to last long. How much can they get out of this? But no, I think it's almost done. It's just a little, it's a guy past his prime, and now everybody, BYU can get the guy that he was going to get every year because BYU would have put a package together. They're all in on that guy. And, but that guy's going to Kentucky. In normal circumstances, 6-7 years ago.
One other note, because we're not going to have a show tomorrow. The LSU ladies win yesterday. Could have been a trap game at Florida before the South Carolina game on Thursday. They made sure that it wasn't. They won big yesterday. They will take a 20-0 record to Columbia to face South Carolina, who's 18-1. Their only loss was to UCLA, who is number 1 in the country. So this is the one thing that has escaped Kim Mulkey since she's been here is a win over South Carolina. She's got a shot on Thursday night.
Charlie, Kim Mulkey was wearing some nylon as part of her attire, so they're now 1-1 when she wears nylon on her.
I won against the spread. They're undefeated this year.
Sorry, 1-1 against the spread. Yeah, they covered pretty easily.
It's not Kim Mulkey's responsibility or job description to cover the spread for you, Max.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Jeez.
That's Thursday night.
Everything's gambling with Max.
Oh my! You just teed that one up for me.
All right, we're off tomorrow. All of our local shows are off tomorrow. But hey, look, we do remind everybody that Wes Reynolds, Max, have been sizzling in golf, and we're going to put the golf picks up tomorrow evening, because in Torrey Pines, in beautiful La Jolla, California, just south of Del Mar, they are got neighbors, Del Mar, actually. They will be starting. It's a Wednesday to Saturday tournament this weekend to avoid competing with the conference championship games. So that'll be on our website. Charlie, what's that website again?
LouisianaSports.net.
There we go.
Where everything is free. No paywalls, no subscriptions necessary. Live at Big Mike's. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Thibodeau Store and the Pierre Part Store, your hardware specialist, but so much more. Because if you go down to the Thibodeau Store right now and you're looking for a crawfish pot, you're looking for a jambalaya pot, we're getting into crawfish season, custom-made pots from both of them. Also, custom-made Cypress furniture that you can get, the rockers, the gliders, the swings, benches, all there. Going fishing, heading down to the coast, huge supply of fishing gear, big green egg cookers available at the Thibodeau Store. So it's not just for your home improvement projects, it's so much more. Shop online, ThibodeauStore.com. Delivery is free. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and their sister property, the Pierre Part Store, which just celebrated their 113th year in the business. And the Thibodeau Store and ThibodeauStore.com.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand.
And our 2 Heisman Trophy quarterbacks, he's way better than that clown from Cincinnati, dude. Way better.
They go for it on 4th downs. They have the highest 4th down conversion rate in the league. No, but game management. He hasn't made any glaring mistakes.
Are we still doing a promo?
Well,
we're
not doing a show tomorrow, and we're not.
And then y'all don't know where y'all at Wednesday.
I don't know about. Well, if we do a show, I know where we're going to be, but
we do a show Wednesday.
I don't know. Wednesday. I mean, I think Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's whatever you want to do.
No, he's gonna look it up.
Okay.
Roca. All right. This is true. All right. You ready?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm ready. It's rolling.
This is Charles Handegrove. The Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Roca Pizzeria on Government Street. Oh, that's it. Geez. West Road. Okay. This is Charles Handegrove. The Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Roca Pizzeria on Government Street at Mid-City. Professional sports handicapper Randy McKay, as well as Wes Reynolds from VEASAN, will be a part of the show. Live at Lunch from Roca on Wednesday at 11 a.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Out on a road trip, you need a vehicle for the week, or just want something new to drive, we've got you covered.
At All Star Toyota, we offer a wide selection of Toyota vehicles ready to hit the road when you are. Conveniently located at Airline at Goodwood in Baton Rouge. Visit us today or check out our website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com for more details.
All-Star Toyota, people you know, cars you trust.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-1674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Big Mike's, where the live music this weekend is from Cottonmouth on Saturday night. Line dancing on Wednesdays. It will be closed here tomorrow at Big Mike's due to the weather, as will we. No local shows tomorrow. All right.
Cottonmouth, Charlie.
Cottonmouth, man.
You ever have Cottonmouth, Charlie?
On occasion. Yeah. Always seems to follow.
Ohio State blowout, baby.
You think a blowout?
Yeah, I think Notre Dame's going to have a hard time moving the ball. Their offensive line's a little banged up, and their big explosive guy is banged up, and their running back, and that's where most of their explosive plays have come this year. That defensive front is really good. I think that it's going to be a low scoring game, and I think that you're going to have to copycat Texas cover 2 Smith extra attention approach and force them to have long drops and hope that they make some mistakes along the way. But they just can't. They'll pick their spots when they bring pressure. But I think that it lends itself to a low score. Both of these teams are low scoring teams. Both of these defenses, number 1 and number 2 in scoring defense in the country. And so I think it lends itself to a lower scoring game. But Ohio State, like 24-10. Something like that, 27-10.
I was going to say 31-10, but we're on the same page here. I hate to agree with you, but I do think that.
Why,
as well.
Charlie?
Bad radio. No. I do think it's going to be difficult for Notre Dame to duplicate what Texas did on Jeremiah Smith. I think it's one thing to say, hey, there's the blueprint. It's nothing to actually have the dudes to do it. And I know Notre Dame's been good in the secondary, but I'd be surprised if he had a quiet
Notre Dame's better defense in Texas.
I will be surprised if Jeremiah Smith has another quiet game. I think he will have a much, much bigger impact on this game than he had on the last one. And if Ohio State doesn't beat themselves, if there's not turnovers and penalties, I think that they win this game by multiple scores.
Yeah, I think that Ohio State got some of that sloppiness out of them. They were flawless in the first 2. But, I mean, you watching that game and if they played again over Texas, what would you think the final score would be?
If
they beat them by how much?
They beat them by 14. They beat them 28-14, and I think that they should have probably won the game by 21-24.
Okay, and they're 1 yard away with 5 minutes to go. I mean, that game should not have gotten to that point, and part of that was because of their sloppiness. And a veteran like Henderson, what are you doing? with the personal foul, the holding penalties. I mean, 4 different drives, 3 right after the first one in sequence, and then 1 in the second half. Your penalties were the difference in stopping. You stopped yourself. And so, no, they had way much of a sweat, and you got to like how they responded by their own fans selling them out. Their own fans let Tennessee fans, 40,000 Tennessee fans get into the shoe.
They have played with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah,
like, you guys don't like us. You guys don't want us. We'll show you.
Yes, it is helped them for sure. And so I think they'll recapture that focus. And I think it's going to be a long night for Notre Dame.
Who you got, Max?
I have not bet on this game. I don't know where to go, really. 8.5.
There's multiple sites you can bet at. I mean,
I'm inclined
He's
to
a
go
Bet
with Notre
Rivers
Dame.
employee. He can't.
Yeah, it's true. I'm inclined to go with Notre Dame just because their numbers as an underdog, their numbers under Marcus Freeman are so good. Ohio State, do I trust, the coaching in the big moments? We've seen them let them down in Michigan. Ryan Day, does he maybe poop down his pants a little bit? But I just, Will Howard's good. They're much the better team. Look, for full disclosure, Charlie, I was on TCU plus 14 against Georgia. They lost by 60 in that game. So I'm a little scarred by that. I'm worried Ohio State's just better and they run away here.
I
think Notre Dame's better than TCU.
Yeah, they'll be
Correct.
more competitive.
Yeah,
I want to take
they're
Notre
a better
Dame.
roster than TCU.
I want to take Notre Dame, but I think I'm going to hold back.
All right. Thanks to the folks here at Big Mike's for being our host. Again, happy hour 3 to 7,
30.
Monday through Friday, and all day on Sunday with $2.50 domestic beer, bottle and draft, $4 Wells, and $4 wine. Cottonmouth here this Saturday night, live music and line dancing lessons on Wednesday night. We're off tomorrow, snow day. We'll keep you up to date on the plans for the rest of the week. From all of us here at Big Mike's, Jordan back in the studio. I'm Charles Hanker saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.